Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Wave. We're going to start off today with the ASR. Again, it closes on July 1st of 2022. Again, check your calendars for accuracy for parent-teacher conference days, professional days, snow days, holidays, and your transportation. To check that will be found in your student view. Make sure that it's showing up correctly. If you've got missing students and you're find missing students, they are not going to be counted in your total count. So if there's a student appearing there, you need to make sure what the error is and correct that error in order for them to appear in your complete student view. The alt-ed piece can verify that the students listed under this section are correct. If they're not correct, we will open. You just need to request it, the online data entry. It is available now. You just need to request it from OSDE. You can contact the student data info at osde.ok.gov, or the state aid department can do that. There are instructions for the online data entry for your alt-ed. It's been posted, so be sure to refer that if you are doing that online data entry section. There is a notes section there as well. If you make a note, it's going to send an email to state aid automatically. So if you have questions about the ASR, contact state aid at state.aid@osde.ok.gov, or you could call Lori Kimbrough directly at 405-522-0139, or Mitzi Perry at 405-522-0120. Lori, do you want to add anything in regards to the ASR?
I don't, no, not really. I think everybody's moving along pretty good. We have 50 people, about 50 who are certified. I'm going to tell you, business has really picked up around here.
Okay.
And
right.
So y'all just gonna have to be patient because it's getting a little wild, but we'll try to keep up with y'all. Just continue on making sure your data is correct.
Well, great. I'm glad that many people have already certified. So we'll look.
I know those are those. I'm sorry. I had to mention that to all you guys who are still in school.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the chronic absenteeism medical exemptions. You must have a district administrator user profile before a student's absence records can be amended. You will need to fill out the survey at the link below to identify the district admin user in your district. So that this slideshow has been posted from last week, and it has the same URL there. So if you need to pop or go in and click that link to open it up and fill out that survey, please do so. We'll post this as soon as we're done with this today, and so you can refer to that as well. So the local exemption committee, it meets to approve or deny requests for the absences that are to be medically exempt based upon the statute 21010 through 13-25, local board policy, and also supporting documentation. So the site user uses the CA medical exemption window process to submit requests and upload the committee's approved absences and documentation for each student. And then the district admin user, it reviews the request and supporting documentation for each student's medically exempted absences to approve or deny the request. So the admin user must be different than the site user. So please make sure you have each of those roles in place at your district. Okay, so exit and dropout codes, they are still a thing. So if you enter an incorrect code, it's going to affect your dropout and graduation report. So make sure that you're utilizing the correct codes when you're exiting a student. We need these to be populated for students that have graduated, and then also those that have left your district to go to a different district. Now, corrections will not be allowed for exits that occurred during your school year or before the certification of your ASR. However, if after the ASR closes and you've got one that has been coded with a dropout code, and then you find out or receive a records request, accountability will allow corrections for that. So keep in mind that. So valid codes that you can use are out of state, which is the 1909. The private schools out of state are going to be 1912 and 1915. Private schools in state are 1910, 1911, 1913, 1914. If a student moves outside the country, you're going to utilize 1916. If they have to go to an institution, you're going to utilize 1917. And if they've gone to homeschooling, it would be 1918. So other ones that are charter schools, including virtual, are 1919. Public in-state transfers is 1907, 1908, and 3508. If they exited, the exited is going to be basically for your end of school year, which is 3505. If you've graduated your students, it's going to be 1921. If you've had a student that passed away, it's going to be 1923. If they left due to illness, it's going to be 1924. Now, if you have questions about the exit codes or the exit dates, you can direct those questions to accountability at accountability.sde.ok.gov or to the student data info at sde.ok.gov. Now, the next group of codes are codes that are used that will be counted as dropouts, which is the 1922, 1925, 1926, 1927, 1928, 1931, 3500, 3501, and 3502. So if you had to code someone during the school year because you didn't get a records request and the student just disappeared, and then you find out later on that they did move to a different school, then you would be allowed to make those corrections. So keep that in mind.
Nancy,
Yes.
this is Lori again.
Yes.
So since you were talking about exit codes, I've had a few questions that have arose from that.
Okay.
If you have students who attend the VOTEC or attend a co-op, or can't think of any other where they go to school somewhere else, and
Right.
you guys get out of school first and they don't get out of school for another week, that means your report is delayed for another week because you have to have those grades so you can exit that child.
Right.
So it's going to put a little delay. It's going to put a little crunch time on your accreditation officers. Most of them are aware of that. So you'll just have to let them know that you can't complete it in the 10 days because you're waiting for all of your students to be able to report them. So hopefully you don't have any more confusion with that.
Okay. Thank you for adding that, Lori. Post-secondary opportunities report. It is an accountability reporting. It used to be on the wave, but it's been moved to your SSO login under accountability reporting. So what's new is you need to check the coursework tab to make sure that you're submitting grades using the following steps. So from the student data, click the coursework tab and then click on the flat file icon at the top of the spreadsheet. Then by clicking on the flat file, it expands the spreadsheet to show all the courses for each student. This table also allows you to check that your local SIS is sending grades. If grades are not being sent, you're going to need to work with your vendor. So be sure to check that and make sure we're getting the students' grades. Transfers. Okay, so districts can still extend their transfers this month. It began on May the 1st. So any transfer in your transfer queue that's not finalized, that you haven't extended or haven't approved, it's going to be deleted from the transfer system. And the parents that that the ones that have been deleted, those parents will have to reapply. So just keep that in mind. And you're going to have, you'll need to report your capacity numbers 15 days prior to any quarter and 15 days after. So you'll have that 30-day window to report capacity. So keep that in mind. If you're dealing with virtual district, entries must be a virtual transfer started on them. So this ensures we can track the number of moves that student makes into a virtual charter or virtual school, because they can have no more than 2. That was a law or a statute that was effective on July 1st of 2021. PEBT. Okay, so accountability reporting is available, and it is showing the school year 21-22. So you need to reviewing and correcting the data for 2022 right now. If you do that now, it's going to save a lot of time later. So please make sure you are reviewing that data now. The DVR process is coming soon for the 2021. And once that's been completed, we'll work with others within the agency to determine when the 21-22 DVR data will be available for correction. So it would be in the best interest of each district to review your 22 data and make any corrections that are needed now. Corrections for the FY22 data can be made in your local SIS. So be sure you're reviewing that. So. And then again, our rollover is going to be happening July 11th through the 22nd. The system will be back up on the 25th. The lagging days there is because it's a weekend. So be sure that prior to your SIF agent rollover, you put your zone to sleep. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can reach out to us or your vendor and we can assist you in that. So let us know if you need our help on that. Medium of instruction for school year 22-23. So each section in your system will identify and include the students based upon the type of instruction that they're currently receiving. So this means each section would have a virtual class and a brick and mortar class when applicable. So while you're building those those sections, keep that in mind. And again, if you have any questions, you can email us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov. We also have documents and guides on the OS or the SDE website. It's under student information, documents and guides. So please refer to that if you have any questions or need to look something up. Okay, that is all I have for now. Let me go to the chat and see what kind of questions we have. Okay, so Christy's asking if you have a foreign exchange student and they're returning home, they're using 3503 enrolled as in foreign exchange eligible to return. Is this correct, or do you use 1916? I believe is 1916 out of country. Let me go back on the slides.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can use 1916. I mean, there is sometimes you've got multiple choices, so you just use what's really best.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and Sandy, code 1928. What do we use if a senior is not able to graduate but will return? You just do re-entry. If they're coming back the next year, it would be re-entry, same school, no interruption. And unfortunately, I don't have them memorized, so it would be that code. Brandy's asking back to dropout codes. When you said we will get a request, when you said if we get a request and we update, this won't change. Okay, so Brandy, can you kind of speak to that question?
Well, I was just confused because you had said something about if we get a record request later, but we had a different code in there. that
Well, I mean,
That
if you
wasn't
don't,
gonna update.
well, if you have, I'm gonna have to get back to accountability and check on that, but I understand, from what I understand, that is if you've got like a dropout code in there and then you're later advised that the student did enroll someplace else, you, with documentation, you should be able to correct that.
Oh, okay, okay. I just wanted to understand better. Thank you.
No problem. Janice want to clarify PBEBT review. Please review and correct 2021 and 21-22 will be available soon. We want you to review the 21-22 now in your system, so you won't have to do DVRs. Right now, the 2021 is available to review, and that when that window is open to make corrections, we'll be letting you know. And Michelle's asking if there's any training available on the PEBT. I believe that Eric is working on that, and it should be available pretty soon. And she's made changes in the system. After school is out to make corrections, will it still update? It will until the rollover, I believe. So is code 1921 to be used if they are not coming back, or 1928? Let me look that up for you. Questions. I'm going to move on to the next question and then we'll get back to that one. Okay, next one is for returning seniors. Okay. Are you saying that all students listed under the extension decision will be deleted? If you haven't approved or denied, I mean, if you haven't approved them, they will be deleted. You're not planning on approving or denying until July 11th for the 20. So yes, they will be deleted and they'll have to reapply. If you don't extend someone by that date, they will be deleted. And I think, Pam, Dion's answered your question about 1928. So what code do we use for seniors that don't graduate and are not coming back? You would use, there's a code that states that they did not meet the graduation requirements. That's the code that you would use for that. Let me get those up real quick. Okay, so if you have a student that didn't meet their graduation requirements, they would be and they're not coming back. You could use 1927. I mean, it's going to be a dropout, or let's see, completed grade 12 but did not did not meet graduation requirements, which is 1928. Margaret is saying that she did not receive transfer notification emails as the sending district in a timely manner. You're not receiving those in a timely manner. Is it just me, or is this happening to others? Also, when will the ability to approve transfer extensions be expanded beyond the superintendent? Margaret, I'll have to get with Ryan on that. I don't know the answer to that, but I will check on that and get back with you. And is anybody else having issues not receiving transfer notification emails in a timely manner? So Teresa, you're going to use 1928 if they're graduating and didn't meet the requirements. I mean, sometimes there are multiple codes you can use on exit codes. You have to pick the one that best suits your situation. Hopefully that helps. Okay, anybody got any more questions?
Nancy, I just have a quick question on the transfers.
Yes.
So I talked to Ryan after the last meeting, and so all of the students that we approved for 21-22 that we entered before the new transfer law in January, he said that we had to go in and hand enter all of them so they will populate because it wasn't dragging them over.
Right.
So as I did that, it obviously sent out emails to all my parents stating that they were approved, which then therefore they thought they were already approved for the 22-23 school year, which was not the case. But the emails that parents had sent me, they showed me what notification they got. Is there a possible way to add a year to that email when it gets sent out to the parent? Because it just says you've been approved for your transfer. It doesn't say, like, it would be more clear to the parent if it would have said you've been approved for the 21-22 school year. So as parents are calling me, I had to tell them sorry for the confusion, but with the update in January, it didn't drag over the students that we approved at the beginning of this school year. So therefore they're getting an email saying they're approved, which some of them were denying for 22-23. So that's going to be confusing when I go through my extension list, and now they're going to get a denial email.
I see. Okay. Well, I'll check with Ryan and see if that's a possibility. That makes perfect sense. So let me see what we can do about that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Casey, the only transfers you're seeing in the system are the 21-22. What do you do about the other transfers in the years past? Like Jennifer said last week, you're going to have to enter those ones that are not showing up. Paula, Paula, are you saying you left off their emails when inputting the previous transfers so it wouldn't notify them? Okay, so she didn't include their emails, so it didn't send out that. So I'm going to check on the year, putting that in the email. That way it clarifies what transfer is being approved, but that's a good way to circumvent that for now. A lot of good feedback and questions, guys. Is there anything else? Okay, well, if you're done with the questions, we'll go ahead and end the call. And Margaret, I'll get back with you on your questions. And so Terry's asking, so she's been told that 1928 is for seniors not coming back, and said that and then was said it was for returning seniors. 1928, that is for seniors not coming back. You are totally correct there. So if they are returning, you're going to be doing a re-entry, same school, no interruption if they're returning the next year. Because you're re-enrolling them back in the 12th grade. Is that correct, Terry? Okay, all right. And Angela's saying if they don't include the email now, they won't get notification when we do the extend. I'm not sure if you can update the email at a later date. So Angela, I'll check on that as well. All right, guys, is there any other questions?
Hey Nancy, when you ask Ryan about adding the years to the emails that you all send out when we approve and deny, are you just gonna wait till the next meeting to address that and let us know?
No, I'm gonna try to get back with y'all.
Okay, perfect. And then, so we need to be approving 22, 23 is the ones we know already that are in the system. If we're approving and denying for next year, we need to just go ahead and do that.
Well, you'll extend them. You have for the month of May to extend those.
Right, okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of your week and weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.